And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Pent Up. Now, Pent Up is from Nestor Games. If you've never seen their games, they're kind of a little indie company that makes a lot of abstract strategy-style games. Some of them are fantastic, some are okay, and some aren't that good. Really, they're kind of all over the board, but they always interest me. So today we're taking a look at Pent Up, which uses pentominoes, which are basically shapes, think Tetris shapes, but they have 5 squares instead of 4. It's a 2-player game. Here's how it plays. In Pent Up, each player is going to get a group of pentominoes here, different shapes. And white is going to place one in the middle, and then black will place one next to it, and now the game starts. So the way the game works is when you take a tile, you need to place it adjacent to the other tiles that are in there. However, if the tile that you're placing can go on a higher level, you must place it on a higher level. And it has to touch one or more blocks. So for example, this one can go on a higher level in various ways. It's up to me on how to place it. But if I place this one, I have to put it on level 2. This one also would have to go on level 2. This one also would have to go on level 2. So there's going to be actually, in this particular case, there's going to be very few tiles that can't go on level 2. So let's say I place one there, then it's the black player's turn, and they don't necessarily have a tile that goes on level 2, so maybe they'll place one like this. Again, if I place this one, I have to go to level 2, but maybe I will. I'll go there, because now if black plays this tile, for example, they would be forced to go to level 3. Of course, they didn't have to do that. They could have probably played something else. Now that it's my turn, again, we'll go down, and we're just going to keep going back and forth as we place these tiles, and eventually people are going to be forced to play all their tiles, and at the end of the game, whoever has a tile on the highest level is the winner of the game. So here, maybe white manages to pull off something like this. And if there's a tie for whoever has tiles on the high, it's the most tiles on the highest level wins. So in case there's a tie, whoever has more on the top, and then you would just go down. You can also play a variant of the game, whoever has the most tiles on the lowest level wins. Gameplay is going to be pretty much the same, but you're going to play slightly differently as you try to, you're always trying to force your opponent to build the higher levels anyway, so that you can build on an even higher level than that. But if you play the lowest level wins, you never want to go to a high level, period. But that's how it goes. You just keep playing until all the pentominoes are out, and then you see who wins. As with all these games, they come in this pencil bag type thing here, and these are pretty good quality pieces. They're nice, they're thick, they're plastic. They're a little bland, right? There's no board, there's just these pieces. So this makes the game extremely portable and easy to carry around. But they're okay components really, because, well, that's just the way this company is. So this is in the category of abstract games where you need to force your opponent to do something. This is not necessarily my wheelhouse always, these kind of games where I am forcing you to make a move, so therefore it helps me. So you have to kind of look ahead in this game. This game is not going to have any kind of great chains of different decisions, because you really only have a few pieces and you play them, and as time goes by, the number of pieces you can play gets less and less and less. So you use first couple pieces, you look and say, do I want to go to the second level? If I do go to the second level, where can my opponent play? There's a newer game, this game came out a few years ago, there's a newer game called Number 9, which has a similar feel to this, but it does so in a much more family-friendly way, and you're not so much dealing with the other people, you're dealing with your own little area, and it's probably a superior game to this. But if you want to go after the other person, you're just always trying to think ahead of them. I'm not sure if there might not be a first player disadvantage or advantage, I don't know. Feels like it's a disadvantage to go first, because your opponent can just keep placing pieces to force you to go higher. But I'm probably just not good enough at the game for that. But I found it interesting. It wasn't something that I will probably remember in a couple of years, or even a few months, and it's not one I think I'll go out of my way, but again, it's a nice little portable game that, hey, I can carry this in my pocket or my backpack or something, and it's an interesting two-player game. You don't need a board. You can just play on any surface, and you put these tiles on top of each other. So there's some gems of some great ideas in here. I just don't know that it's a completely fulfilling and finished game. Oh, I guess it's a finished game, but I don't know that it's a game that I'm going to sit around and think, I wonder how I could have played that differently. There's definitely thought to it. It's definitely 100% complete strategy and forcing your opponent to play higher than you. Although I will say I think I like the variant where you have to see who has the most pieces in the lowest level. Because it again, like I said, it plays very similarly, but there's a slight difference. And I feel like it's a little easier for me to see the strategies of I want to get these pieces in the bottom level as fast as I can before I force to play them on a higher level, while at the same time setting it up so my opponent must play their pieces. So there you go. That's Pent Up. Check it out. Dice Tower Judgment, an interesting game.